Well, hello, Vapesters. Thank you for coming back to Vaping with me. We are going to do a review today on a company called ePremiumSmoke.com. Now, they're also called JB Vapes for their local brick and mortar store up in Roseburg, Oregon. But for online ordering, it's ePremiumSmoke.com. Now, they were gracious enough to send me three different flavors for review. They have regular e-juice, but then they also have a line called Private Reserve, which currently has 6 flavors in there, and they sent me 3 of them for a review. So thank you for that. First, before we get started, I just want to, real quick, in case you are new to vaping, there is regular e-juice, and then there's premium high VG e-juice. Now, usually high VG juices or these premium juices, they cost a little bit more and they have better flavor, but they're also more inclined for sub-ohming vaping. So if you don't know what that is, you might want to look into it. It's, lower resistant coils at higher wattages. It causes the e-juice to get a better flavor intensity. So this one, their private reserve is a 60 VG 40 PG. So it's still kind of lower on the PG VG ratio than some, because some dripper lines are more like 70 30, 80 20, or max VG. So this line actually you could still use in your regular tanks and coils, not like your Nautilus, your Pro tanks, those, because it'll still wick well because it still has a little bit of PG in there. The PG is a thinner juice. The VG is a thicker juice. So the higher the VG, the thicker the juice is going to be, and the harder it is to wick up in smaller type coils. Just so you know, first off. All right. So the 3 flavors that was sent to me. One is Zeus Melon. This is a 6 nicotine. And like I said, it's a 40 PG, 60 VG. They also sent me Fruit of the Gods, 6 nicotine, which is my vaping preference because I do sub-ohm. And then Chaos. So the first one that I'm going to vape on is the Chaos. And first off, when I first opened up the bottle and I smelled it, you get a big whiff of cinnamon, and not like big cinnamon, more of like the big red chewing gum cinnamon. And I was like, oh man, because I'm really usually not into cinnamon type vapes. In big cinnamon, yes, not like the candy cinnamon, because usually it's really, really peppery and it's a little spicy, and it's not, I'm more into sweets and creams. But, of course it was sent to me, so I have to review, or I don't have to, but out of respect, I'm going to review it and I'm going to vape it. So I went to their website, and it's Chaos is supposed to be chaos, halfway between heaven and hell, a delightful blend of blueberry, banana, and red hot cinnamon. All right, so I am currently vaping this on my new mod. I got the brand new iStick 50 watt. I'm loving it. And then I have my Atlantis by Aspire, and it's a 0.5 coil. And I am currently vaping at 35 watts. Okay, the first time, well, when I first got it, my son, he's 18, just so you know, so you don't think I'm like giving it to a minor. He's like, let me try that one, Mom, so I put it in his Nautilus, and he's like, oh, that's so good. I'm like, well, let me try it, and just like, it was like instantly, that is really freaking good. I am very pleasantly surprised that I went ahead and tried it, even though it wasn't something that's up my alley, because this vape is amazing. Okay, on the inhale, you get that red hot cinnamon. On the exhale, you get that really good fruit flavor. If I were to compare it, I would say you take a stick of red hot gut bubble gum and a stick of juicy fruit bubble gum. And if you were to chew it at the same time, that is the flavor you're getting. It is really good. It's pleasant. I mean, you wouldn't think that they would be really good together, but they are really good together. Also, just so you know, when okay, the first time I tasted it, it was, like I said, it was on a, uh-oh, my lights flickering. Oh, okay. Anyway, I did it on a Vamo with a Nautilus at 12 watts. And I got more of the cinnamon than I did the fruit. When I first put it on my iStick, I had it at 25 watts. Got a little bit more fruit, you know, 30 watts, a little bit more fruit. So I'm like, okay, well, let me turn it up a little bit more. At 35 watts, I get a lot more of that fruit on the exhale. Hold on. I have to fix this. Okay, I'm back. I think it's better. Maybe. Okay, there. Fixed. All right, so if you are going to get this juice, if you're going to vape it, just know that the higher the wattage you're using, the more flavors you're going to get out of it. Word of advice, though, don't try to go too high of a wattage if you're using like a Nautilus or a Pro Tank when they're a 1.2, 1.8, 1.6 ohm coil. Those usually max out at like 18, 19 watts. So, you know, just so you know, if you go too hot on those type of coils, you're probably going to burn your coil. Just word of advice. So, oh, another thing. Also, with the higher the PG, the more of a throat hitch you're going to get. So typically with a 60-40 juice, you usually get a pretty decent throat hit. That's when, like if you were to be a mouth to inhaler hitter, sorry. If you are a mouth to lung hitter, that's what I meant. That's a thump you get in the back of your throat, more like when you're smoking a cigarette. However, when you are doing sub-ohming, if you get too much of that thump, because you have to actually be a lung hitter, you're going to choke yourself. And so I was really surprised, being that it is a 40 PG juice, that the lung hit or the throat hit is very smooth. I was really surprised. So I mean, it may be a 60-40 PG juice, but these are hitting more like an 80-20. The cloud production is amazing. So I have to say, you know, if you are more of an extensive vapor, don't be leery about the fact that it's a 60-40, because it is performing more like an 80-20 VG juice. All right, so the next juice I'm going to review is the Zeus Melon. I also have that in an Atlantis tank. These were all cleaned out tanks with fresh coil, so there was no crossover in the flavor profile. Zeus Melon is an undeniably blend of strawberry, peach, Belgian cream, and notes of succulent strawberries. So this is more of a dessert vape than a candy gum vape. So let's go ahead. I'm, again, 0.5 coil, 35 watts, iStick 50 watt. See, again, cloud production is amazing. Now this one is really sweet. It is, I taste more peach than anything. Even at a higher wattage, the peach is really strong. I do get undertones of some strawberry on the exhale. The cream I'm not getting so much. It's not like a really creamy vape like Suicide Bunny's line. I think the cream more is a note where it just blends it together real well on that exhale. Overall, very good juice. If you like sweet juices, dessert juices, this is a really good fruity vape. All right. Now, the next one is Fruit of the Gods. Now that one I have in a Kinger Sub-Tank Mini. 0.5 coil. All right. Get that tight on there. Now all of these have been in the tanks, you know, for hours. I try to vape more than just right there at the time. When I first started doing these reviews, I would use bridge atomizers and just taste them right then and there. However, I found that's not really doing the juices justice. They kind of, you need to vape them a little bit longer than that. It actually kind of vape them in whatever setup you have. The bridge atomizers are good, like if you're trying to taste at a store, or if it's something that you want to put in a tank before you actually fill up a tank. But for reviews, I think I need to do a little more justice by actually vaping them for more than just a few puffs. All right, so okay, Fruit of the Gods. It says, if you are searching for a blend of strawberries, strawberries, pomegranate, and marshmallows, look no further. So again, this is going to be a very fruity vape. 0.5 ohm coil, 35 watts. Ooh. Sorry. I'm so used to the Kinger sub-tanks. They hit a lot hotter, so I'm still trying to, I just got this today also, so it's a little hotter than my Atlantis. Okay, I get pomegranate. The pomegranate is very, very standout in this vape. I get an undertone of, I guess it's the marshmallows. I would say more, it was more of kind of like a sweet cream, but again, marshmallows is kind of like a sweet cream on the exhale, but it's not real prominent in the juice itself. The pomegranate is what stands out in this juice. Vapor production, like I said, amazing. Now, when I got my little package, I got a business card, so pretty. But on the back, I got a little note. So it says, 2/3 Fruit of Gods, 1/3 Chaos. Try this. It blends really well. Now, I have not done this yet because I wanted to keep my tanks true to the flavor at the time while I was doing my review. So now that I have done my review on each flavor, we are going to try this right now. So this one had my Chaos, and I'm probably, there's probably about an ounce, or not an ounce, I'm sorry, 1 mil of Chaos in there. So I'm gonna say that's about 1/3. So we're gonna go and try and put as close to 2 mils in here as I can. And anyone who knows about the Atlantis, it's like 2.5 mils. So I might not be able to get as much as I really need to in here, but we will try to get as much as we possibly can. Okay, so I'm going to have to take a couple of puffs just to clear out the coil of just the Chaos. I'm getting a little nicotine out here. Okay, so I have added the Fruit of the Gods to the little bit of Chaos I had in here. I vaped out some of the juice that was in there, so it cleared out of just the Chaos. Cut it out so you didn't have to watch me for the 3 minutes. I just fogged up my room while I was doing it. A little lightheaded because that was a lot of. Another thing, when you sub them, you don't have to vape as much because you will definitely get a little woo from the nicotine if you do too much. All right. Okay, so this is the recommendation of 2/3 Fruit of the Gods, 1/3 Chaos on a 0.5 ohm coil, 35 volts. Okay. Wow. Those are blended really well together. Okay, so before Chaos by itself was mostly like the red hot cinnamon, like big red gum. And then the Excel you had like juicy fruit. Now it's like a hint of red hot on the inhale with that pomegranate and the strawberries. It is really good. And then on the exhale, you get more of a fruit exhale. I'm very surprised that I like the Chaos, the cinnamon as much as I do. That is so good. It is. Thank you for the recommendation, April. I appreciate that. It's definitely a good mix. Now, Chaos by itself is really good. Fruit of the Gods is really good. But when you put those two together, you got something going. All right. So out of the three, I'm going to have to say my favorite by itself, surprisingly, is the Chaos. The red hot cinnamon with the juicy fruits. It is a very good vape. It is not overly sweet, but it is sweet enough to, like, I mean, you feel like you just chewed some gum. It's very satisfying. However, if I do like this mix, I'm probably going to be doing this, more often. I'll be mixing the Fruit of the Gods with the Chaos. It is just really well together. If I'm going to rate the three of the line that I got, I'm going to put them up there with a 9. They are definitely worth the $21.95 price tag for a 30 ml glass bottle with a dripper top. Anyone who's watched my reviews knows that Suicide Bunny is my favorite. I love that nice, creamy, sweet cream vapes. But I'm going to be definitely ordering more Chaos. It's a nice change. It is a surprisingly satisfying vape. I'm going to have to say E-Premium Smokes at JB Vapes is an amazing line for your private reserve. I appreciate you sending me the samples to review. I hope you guys will check out their website. I'm going to link down below both Facebook pages, the JB Vapes and the E-Premium Smoke, along with their actual website of epremiumsmoke.com. Please check them out. They are definitely worth trying. These are amazing flavors, the three that I got. Thanks for coming to Vaping with me. See y'all next time.